Hello, my name is Professor Crystal Benedicks. I'm the chair of the English department at Wabash College, and I've been invited to share with you some tips on writing a scholarship essay. Before I start, I want to say thank you to the Montgomery County Community Foundation and all of you who are watching this at home. I know it's far from ideal, but I'm happy to help. I'm going to share my screen with you. Presumably, okay. Here we go. All right, you should be able to see this. So writing a scholarship essay. This is one of the trickiest parts of any application, writing the essay. It's so hard to sell yourself in this way. I'm going to go through some tips that have worked for me and for others in the past. I am happy to ask questions if you have them after this presentation. You can see my name there at the bottom of the screen, Crystal Benedicks. You can easily find my contact information on the Wabash website. Okay, so quick overview. The key thing, the most important thing, start early. This is not something you do in a weekend or in an afternoon. And I know we are all guilty of procrastinating on writing tasks, especially those that are kind of personal and high stakes and difficult. Starting early is the biggest gift you can give yourself. Expect to write many drafts. Expect to spend a lot of time revising, editing, seeking feedback. This is just from a planning point of view. Give yourself plenty of time. It's important in scholarship essays to be specific, personal, and engaging. If you've made it to this level, you're already impressive. And everyone else who is your competition is also impressive. So your job with the scholarship essay is to make yourself stand out. That takes some work. All right, I want to just give you some basic stuff I know about writing to be true, which is that almost all good writing begins with terrible first efforts. This is from an essay I always teach in my writing classes at Wabash. It's by LAMOTT, who is an American writer. And the title of her essay is Shitty First Drafts, and she means it. No one ever writes something good the first time. So it's going to start terribly and get better. This is a draft of the Declaration of Independence here. You know, we kind of all have those words in our head and they all seem so well chosen as to be inevitable, but a lot of drafts were written of that document and almost any important or worthwhile piece of writing. All right, again, like I was saying, this takes time. Begin as soon as you can. You're going to go through, for a good, really tight essay, I would say at least 5 or 6 drafts. So don't go starting to get it right the first time. Don't go typing directly into the application. That's far too optimistic. Write something crazy and sloppy at first, and then go from there. Okay, so writing an important thing, an all-purpose guide. Step 1, make sure you understand the prompt. You can write something brilliant, but if it's not what you've been asked for, yeah, it will not go anywhere. Step 2, once you've got the prompt in your head, just free write. Don't worry about correctness. Don't worry about if you have a thesis. Don't worry about if the structure is all over the place. Don't worry if it's not even in words. Just get something on the paper. I like to set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes and just go. Make yourself write for that whole time. You'll come up with smart stuff. It will be messy, and that's okay. That's where you should be. Step 3, once you've done a bunch of free writing, figure out what is actually good in there and let those be the nuggets that you build the entire draft from. That's when you want to start working on structure. Where's the right place to start? At that point, get feedback. Make it very clear to whoever your trusted reader is that you are not asking them to make sure that you spelt things correctly, that you are asking them to look at this essay holistically. What are the big things that need fixing, the structural things, the thematic things. Where do you need better examples? Where is it unclear? And then keep that feedback loop going until you've got something that you feel is worth polishing up. You're going to spend most of your time on revision. Writing is actually not very much about creating. It's more about making that thing that you created shine. Revise, 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 revise. And when I say revise, I do not, again, mean proofreading. Spell check will do that, mostly for you, and that's something you worry about at the end stage. You're going to spend a lot of time on big structural idea development, detailed development stages. That's where most of your work will be. Important. Don't do it alone. It can be awfully painful to hand someone who you trust and whose good opinion of you value, and say, here, read this trashy draft I wrote. Help me make it better, because that's making yourself very vulnerable. But it is really important, because it matters much less what you put into a piece of writing than what your reader takes away from it. So you need to get lots of readers, lots of eyes on this. You need to ask your readers specific questions. What is clear and unclear? Where do I need more detail? What could be cut? Does the structure make sense? You want them to give you really good critical feedback. Okay, now imagine your audience. They're reading a whole bunch of these scholarship essays. They are all good. Okay, and these readers who are volunteering their time to judge your essays, they are making some really hard decisions. And when everyone is impressive and everyone is good, it can be really easy to just dismiss some papers that have obvious blunders or mistakes in them. So after you've gone through all of your hard revising, you really want to make sure that what gets entered into the scholarship application is as close to perfect as possible. Okay, even little mistakes at this point get an essay tossed out. One good way you can stand out is to be really specific in your details, personal, concrete. People remember stories. People don't remember you're saying that you're motivated by charity work, but people will remember that story that you told about that time that you did that heroic thing, or that thing that failed. It really, as long as it's a specific story that people can hang on to, it's going to make a difference. Okay, so after you've done all the heavy lifting, all of the revising, after happy with the essay, now's the time to focus on details. There is usually the one big essay, and then there are some short answer pieces. I've seen people spend very little time on the short answer questions. That's a mistake. Those are also places to shine. So if you think about those details, think about crafting everything, no matter how minor it seems. That's what will separate a good from a great essay. Okay, so finally, you're done with all that. Now you're proofreading. This is just go through it and be brutal, right? Pay attention to the capitalization. Pay attention to the punctuation. Pay attention to the spelling. It's really easy to mess up its and its, there and there, and all those words. Everybody does it. I do it. We all do it. So the goal is not to avoid making those mistakes. The goal is to remember to go back and look at those words and make sure they're right. Get a lot of people to proof your correctness, which is a very different question from helping you with the idea development. Okay, this is just when you're like, is it right? Is it right? Is this punctuation right? You want to proofread multiple times, including at least a day after you feel like you've got it perfect. The proofreading mistakes are small and easy to make, but they're glaring to readers, which is unfair but true. Okay, so that is my overview advice. Spend a lot of time, do a lot of revising, seek a lot of feedback, and then at the end, double down on correctness. I would suggest that you take 10 or 15 minutes now, or the next time you have some time, and just free write in response to one of these prompts. These are very standard scholarship essay prompts. And just get some detail down on a page so you have something to start with. Yeah, I hope that's helpful. Again, I'm Professor Crystal Benedicks. I'm the chair of the English department at Wabash, and I am happy to answer any questions you have. My email is readily available online. Thanks so much, everybody.